We're going. So thank you to everyone that's here already for joining us. Good to see a few people that are tuning in every week. So really appreciate that. Today what we thought we'd do a little bit different than what we've done previously. Just have a bit of a chat. So we've been doing presentations on nutrition, strength and conditioning, mental health, all those things. Now it'd be good to get, I guess, an athlete's or a player's perspective, someone that's been a long way through the pathway already, just to share with everyone a little bit about, his journey and what he's been through and some of the challenges and successes so far, and give you guys a bit different perspective on all this sort of stuff. So we're really lucky we've got Dejan Vasiljevic with us tonight. Thanks for joining us, DJ.
No, thanks for having me.
And just quickly, thank you again for running the skills session with us on Sunday. Some really good feedback. That was really good.
No problems. Anytime.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, TJ's just come back from the US, flown to Sydney. So he's in a hotel for another week and a bit. By yourself, how's that been so far?
I mean, it's not too bad. I'm trying to keep myself busy. Obviously, the NBA's on in the morning, so I've been able to get up early and get a good 6 hours of NBA in, and get a nice 2 to 3 hour workout in after that the Kings have put me through. And then the rest of the day I just chill and play some PlayStation at night with a couple of my friends we used to go to school with.
Yeah. What's the game of choice at the moment?
Call of Duty Warzone. That's the main one I play. So
I might need you after this. I need some tips. I'm terrible myself.
The hotel Wi-Fi is kind of letting me down, but we actually got a dub last night, so me and my mates, so we've been doing pretty well.
That makes it all good. Yeah. And what's the I mean, a lot of us wouldn't have been through this. What's the situation like? You can't leave the room. Do you get at all any time to go outside?
I've actually been lucky enough. Like the Kings have actually put me in a pretty decent spot where I've got my own balcony, so I spend like after the NBA games are on, I spend a little time outside, just to get some fresh air. But I let like the doors open, and it like kind of airs out the whole entire apartment for me. So I mean, if I got a PlayStation, I've got a TV. That's all that matters, really.
Yeah, it's not that bad, is it? Yeah.
No.
That's good. Now, I guess the reason we thought you'd be fantastic to get on and talk to everyone is you started in a very similar spot to a lot of our players now. So grew up in Melbourne, playing domestic basketball, playing VJBL. So whereabouts did you play your juniors?
So I started playing basketball at the age of 12 domestically. I tried out for the Werribee Devils, bottom age 14s, but didn't make, not the first side, second side, third side, fourth side. I didn't make any of them. So I decided to head across town and went to Melbourne Tigers, and, started my journey from there. So just went on from there, and then I went on to like the AIS and so forth. So I played all my junior ball at the Tigers.
Okay. So didn't really start just 12-1 straight in, first things all the way through. You started a bit lower and sort of had to work your way up.
Yeah, like when I moved schools to where my sister was, were good news. Basketball was the number one sport, but all the other schools I went to beforehand, footy was the number one, and I used to just play that. My parents weren't big fans of it because we're European descent, so we don't really get the sport. But when you're around Australians every day, all day, like that's the sport you just pick up on. So I was never like actually born into the game of basketball.
Yeah, just started late. But I mean, that's a good lesson for people that you've started not even making the team under 14s to where you are now. Obviously had to work pretty hard and go up through there. So you played Melbourne Tigers all the way through to 18s.
I think my last team was bottom age 18s, because after that season I got a scholarship to the AIS, so I spent the ages of 17, 18 at the institute.
Yeah. What's that like up there? I mean, that's a lot different. It's a little bit like college. You kind of go into school and training as well.
It's like, it kind of prepares you for college, I guess. You don't have to be at school all day. You have certain hours, from 9 to 12 or 12 to 3. And, we have lift in the morning. You go to school, you get another workout in before the actual team practice, which is like at 4. And then if you're, struggling at school, you have study hall at night. So it's really like a college environment. Socializing is a little hard because you're really in the middle of nowhere in Canberra. unless you make friends at school. But other than that, it's just the 12 of us that are on scholarship for that year just stick together, I guess.
Yeah, cool. And then, still with juniors, going up, when did you start playing in state teams and things like that? When did that become?
So I made my first ones team at top age 16 level, and that's when I made my first state team. I think I turned a lot of heads because I didn't make an NITP, like one of those NITP things they do on a Tuesday or Thursday or whatever they do. So I never made those. I was always cut at the first camp, and I turned a lot of heads with Seb Laminato, who used to play at Nunawading because we both didn't make it, and we ended up making the state team. And
yeah, and that's an awesome attitude to have. It's so easy that if you miss out on the team or getting selected to a program to kind of just say, oh well, this isn't for me. But to work hard and to get there, especially we're talking from under bottom age under 14s or under 14s to 16 state team pretty quickly is good. So I think that's a good lesson for everyone. And how'd you go at states? Normally Victoria's pretty strong. Did you come up with any medals?
Yeah, I've actually represented Victoria 5 times and have 5 gold medals. So, okay. I mean, I think the closest game that anyone's ever come close to us was when we played Tasmania on the 20s bottom age, that double OT game. That's probably the closest anyone's ever come to us. But we won nearly every final by 20, 30 points. So,
yeah, awesome. Okay, who else from your age group was kind of in those teams that's gone on and gone to semi-pro or pro level now?
Obviously, Jack White, he's a country kid, but when the 2 Vic teams combined for 20s, he was there. Obviously, Mason Peatling, who's at Melbourne United, along with Jack. Trying to think who else. I think everyone else is into footy. I guess we have Jock Perry. He just finished up at St Mary's. Yeah. Tom Wilson's with Collingwood. Matt Always is with Carlton. We have a lot of guys like that. So I still stay in touch with the guys, and obviously me signing with the Sydney Kings. Tom Wilson reached out because he did play a season with them. So I stay in touch with Tommy.
Yeah, it's a good, strong team. And then the next stage, I guess, was going from representing your state to representing Australia. So you went to the under 17 World Cup 2014, and you guys had some really good success there, and you did yourself as well.
Yeah, with those type of squads, we always prepare 2 years in advance, and I think that's where Basketball Australia's got a real vantage point because they, start so ahead of everyone. Some American teams are just put together on the spot, go out there and compete. Where, like us, we take 2 years, we play a lot of tournaments together, get the chemistry, and obviously we performed well and finished second. So, I'm proud of the group we had, and we played really well. Everyone knew their role, and we only played 8 guys from the quarterfinals onwards, and the other 4 guys on the bench knew what their job was as to help us in practice get better and prepare us for the next team.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a huge achievement. So, we've never had our senior boomers, get a medal. So for the 17s to make all the way to the gold medal game, and it was only 7 points. I think you got knocked off by the US in the final.
Yeah, we were the only team to come that close to them. Obviously, Dante Exum and Ben Simmons 2 years beforehand, finished second to them, but they lost by 20. So for us to get that close, there was a few guys that knew we could, had the chance to beat them, but we just ran out of legs because, we only played 7 or 8 guys with the Americans, rotate on a constant basis.
Yeah. And who was in that US team? Who was in that team that we might?
I could probably rally quite a lot of people. We had Jason Tatum, Josh Jackson, Malik Newman, Diamond Stone, Henry Ellenson. There's about 6 or 7 dudes that are in the NBA right now. So, and some of them are actually having great careers, like Tatum, obviously. So,
yeah, strong team. And you had a pretty good tournament yourself. Averaged, I think, 16 points and made the all tournament team, which is basically part of the tournament.
Yeah, I averaged 18 points, close to 18, and Isaac was right behind me with like 16 and a half or something like that. So both of us were able to make the All-Star 5, and we did well. We represented Australia with great pride, and I think that's just another accomplishment for us individually.
Massive achievement, I'm sure. After that, you probably had a lot of schools and things in contact trying to get you out there.
Yeah, I think the college whole thing really kicked off after the 19s the following year. because I had another great showing. But yeah, there's a lot of NBL clubs that wanted to sign me right after I finished high school, and I was contemplating it. But both my parents are highly educated, and they understand the importance of a degree and that basketball isn't a forever thing. So I've been able to go to college, get 2 degrees, and if my career gets cut short, or I do play till whenever my body says I can, I always have something to look back on.
Yeah, so that was something you always wanted to do, is go and play at the college level.
But yeah, I mean, just to get out there and the atmosphere and stuff like that. And obviously, I went to a really high D1 school. A lot of Australians go to a high D1 school, but obviously end up transferring out. I think Jack White and myself are probably the only ones that were able to compete at a high level and stay there for all 4 years. So, I did myself proud, and obviously Jack did really well at Duke.
Yeah, I mean, Miami's a Division 1 team, ACC, big conference. I think you were ranked inside the top 25 some of your seasons there as well. So, not a small program. Was there other schools that you'd spoken to and were interested?
I think Stanford. Yeah, Stanford was probably my second choice, just because obviously they're playing a Power 5 conference too in the Pac-12, and Johnny Dawkins, a very well-known coach, and he's playing the NBA. He was at Duke. He's at UCF now, coaching and doing a fantastic job. So Stanford would have definitely been my second choice.
Yeah, and what was the standout? What were the things at Miami that sort of drew you to it?
I think it's just the balance of basketball and school. Obviously, basketball is your priority, but if you don't have the grades, like, you can't play. So they had a balance of, a great support cast, a lot of tutoring, and just the overall great business program, top 50 in the country in America in business. So that's the thing I did for my bachelor's degree, and obviously sports admin, I think, is top 30. So I was able to get that for my master's degree.
Yeah, and it's not a bad part of the world either. It's not like you're in Nebraska or South Dakota. Miami's quite nice.
Yeah, we get the sun all around, but it's from like July to like November. It's kind of tricky because all the hurricanes. We've had to evacuate a few times out of the state just to get away from it. So I'm fortunate enough to experience it all.
Yeah, crazy. So what's like the recruiting process? What's that like? Did you just do it all remotely? Did you go over and take any visits? And what kind of things? You hear all crazy stuff about, them taking you to the stadium and all these pictures. Do you get any of that sort of stuff?
I think, both my parents went to school in Europe, and obviously us in Australia, so we didn't really understand how the college system works. So me and my dad really did a lot of research and ended up figuring out how the whole NCAA requirement and stuff like that works. But yeah, I took my visits to Stanford and Miami, and I mean, you get 48 hours there on campus. So we were able to, walk around campus, see the practice, see a game at both schools, and they take pics of you with the uniform just in case you commit. They can't post it, but it's just overall just cool, like getting over there and seeing, how big the stadium is, what the facilities are like, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's so much different from going to university here, where you kind of just go into class and then head home. Some of these schools are just like small towns.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, some of them are small towns, but they have a great atmosphere, sports, I guess. But yeah, it's so much more different than it is here in Australia.
Yeah, and do you get to go to football games and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah. So like the students get in for free, and I've been able to attend a lot of football games. Obviously, my girlfriend Gemma, she was a cheerleader for us at our school. So whenever she was cheering, I'd go and support her, but also get a catch a glimpse of the game too, because most of my friends are athletes on the football team and the basketball team. So we kind of had our own like clique and group together, I guess.
Yeah, and that's something that probably some people don't know a lot about. That it is college, that it's education and sport. So it's not as if you're just kind of getting up out of bed at midday, shooting around, then playing games. You've got class at 8 a.m. You've got exams, like everyone else, right? You've got to try and balance and fit that in.
Yeah, your first 2 years is always the hardest because you're trying to adjust to everything. And I learned in my first year we have weights at 6:30, be done by 7:30, and you got 30 minutes to grab a bite to eat, shower, and get to your 8 a.m. class. And sometimes we'll travel on the road. And I remember one game we played at Virginia on a Monday night, and the next we flew back that night. We got in at 4 a.m. and I had an exam at 8 a.m. and 9:30. So People don't understand what kind of schedule it really is, so you have to have like an organized plan and stuff like that.
That's crazy. And you said you completed both your degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is again a good achievement because a lot of people will just go for basketball and kind of drop out towards the end. So that's a good thing that you've gone through and done all that. And then I guess we talked a bit about off the court, but on the court you had a lot of success. Like you said, you didn't go over and just sit on the bench for 4 years. You're playing minutes freshman season, right to I think leading the team in minutes in your final season.
Yeah. Obviously, my first year, as I said, is a learning curve, and obviously, I had my records and stuff like that. But yeah, towards the end, I was playing, heavy minutes. There was a stretch where I went 7 or 8 games where I played the whole time just because we were hit by injury and a couple of our players didn't play. So, I had to lead from the front, and obviously it caught up with me just because, I started to get tired and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you got a couple of records. You're on a couple of the all-time lists. I think second all-time for 3 points made.
Yeah, so second all time in school's history, and then 17th all time in ACC history. So, and 1,000 point scorer too. So, it was a big achievement. A lot of people doubted me, saying like he wouldn't be able to compete at the ACC level and stuff like that. But now I don't really hear anyone saying that stuff. So they don't they don't give me recognition where I deserve it. They're always just trying to pull me down, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. How far off first on that list were you? How many more threes?
I think I was 10 or 12, somewhere there. It wasn't that far off.
Yeah, crazy. Okay. And I guess over the 4 years, you hear a lot of players that go from Australia across to college and don't have good experiences, or don't really maybe learn a lot or develop. But how much do you think your game and you personally have changed over that 4 years?
I think I just got a lot faster and, a lot more athletic playing against guys like that. You kind of, in America, it's a high-paced game. You play up and down pretty fast compared to here in Australia. And I think that's where I'm going to have the advantage going into the NBL, just because I feel like playing against guys that are more athletic and faster than me, I'll kind of have like a step over everyone here. So, I mean, I haven't practiced yet with the guys, but, we'll see how it goes. I'm just trying to do whatever I can to win a championship.
Yeah, well, that's the next thing. So, I guess Sydney, you would have had some other offers as well. Was there any consideration of the teams, or that was definitely where you wanted to be?
I think I had my top three choices. It was either Sydney, Cairns, or Perth, just because I felt comfortable with all three programs. I don't think coming home was an option, just because other guy, they were high on Chris Goulding and Jack White and stuff like that, and I just didn't want to be another guy that potentially sits on the bench. Here in Sydney, I have a chance to start and stuff like that. So they have a lot of confidence in me. A lot of my teammates know that I can bring in a lot of contribution from the get-go. So they're looking forward for me getting out.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you got a chance to start and play some minutes. They've Bogut's not there, but I saw today Casper's coming back.
Yeah, he just signed. So we're going to have a really good squad. We still have one more spot for an import. So we'll see what they do with that.
Yeah, also, I mean, that's going to be good to play that team, especially someone like Neely, who's been through it all. He's, right at the end of his career, but he's probably a great guy for you to be able to learn off and, share some of the experiences he's had.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Jules has been there for, he's played for a long time now. And, he was texting me today, just checking in. And I think that's what people don't realize, how, great of a teammate he is off the court, too. He doesn't have to text me and check up on me. And he did that today, obviously, and we chatted for a long time. So him and obviously Kevin Lish, who retired, and he reached out, too, just to, say congrats for, signing and offered his advice, too. So, I mean, everyone that's been in the Kings organizations, are great people.
Yeah, it's good to hear. And now the other thing is, what was your last year of college, which makes you draft eligible. Have you put your name in the NBA draft? Is that something that you're exploring?
Yeah, I mean, my name goes automatically into draft after senior year, and obviously, I don't see myself getting drafted, to be honest. They don't draft a lot of 4-year guys, so I'd go undrafted, and whatever happens, happens. I still have interviews with teams that I'm going to have to do, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, good. And what kind of goals have you set for yourself for the first year with Sydney?
Obviously, Will Weaver sat me down with Adam 42, and we've gone over a plan of how to get myself to the NBA. obviously for me, it's going to have to be, shooting at a high level. Obviously, NBA type of threes. There's going to be times in games where you see why, people are going to question why I take that shot, but those are the 3-pointers that the coaches want me to take. They have that belief and trust in me, and obviously being able to finish at the rim. But they're going to challenge me most on the defensive end, guarding, import coming guys. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I mean that's great again that you've still got that ambition, that it's not just settling for the NBL. You're pushing yourself to try and go on to bigger and better things, and you've still got a long career ahead to do that sort of stuff. Now, I guess after basketball, have you got any plans yet? You've obviously got that degree, but have you got things you've got your eye on that you're going to start working towards now?
Not quite yet. Obviously, I still have the NBA stuff to worry about. I think that's the main dream, to get there. And I think after basketball, I want to become a trainer or a coach of some sort, and not be a full-time coach, but be a full-time trainer and help kids and express my knowledge to them and my experience, either if that's in the US or here in Australia, which I don't know yet. It just really depends on where my career goes, and obviously my girlfriend's too, because she's in medical school right now in the US. So whatever happens. But yeah, that's my ambition for now.
Yeah, long way away still, I guess. But yeah, you're doing some other things outside of basketball as well. So you're talking about you starting a clothing brand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's the process with that?
I've always wanted to start my own clothing brand, and obviously I've never had the time in college to do so, just because of the whole rapid schedule. But now that COVID has given me a lot of time besides working out, I've actually sat down with my girlfriend's dad, and we've gone through and designed a logo, a slogan. I've trademarked it all, so no one can steal it off me for the next 10 years. So no, it's gone good. Obviously, I'm just about to partner with this clothing supplier in Melbourne. That's going to help me do that stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully, once the lockdown restrictions lift, they're closed at the minute. But once that's lifted, I can slowly start doing pre-orders and, getting some things out there for people, and then open up shop, come November.
Awesome. Now I've got a little, I'm just going to try and share it on my screen if I can. We've got a little sneak preview of some of this stuff. So you can see you just sent me a couple of the hoodie designs.
Yeah, so obviously, this is like the Kings design logo. Every year, wherever team I go to, me and my girlfriend's dad will somehow incorporate the colors in the logo, like that. But we have original logos that are just gold, black, and I think white. We'll have the black hoodie, white hoodie, navy hoodie, gray hoodies. They're really good hoodies. I actually have a lot of them right now waiting for me after quarantine. They're in a big box, so I'm looking forward to. They're really comfy. They're 80% cotton, 20% polyester, so they're really made for the winter time and kind of to sleep in, I guess. And obviously, as summer rolls around, we're going to have caps and t-shirts, and I'm looking into other things and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just like a sneak preview of what we got. We've also got beanies. With the Kings logo, we've got all different types of logos. So I'm really looking forward to getting this out.
Yeah, it's good. We'll definitely share that stuff out when you start doing pre-orders. Where did 3J come from?
Yeah, so in college, I think everyone saw me as a 3-point shooter in college, and kind of towards the back end of my junior season, someone started saying 3J, 3J, and it kind of kicked off my senior year. Everyone knew me as 3J instead of DJ, and I kind of just felt like it was a good flow for me. So I just kept it and trademarked it. So it's all good now.
That's good. You've done well with it, and already you've planned it out and trademarked and all that sort of stuff. So that's good. Now I know you've got to go in a minute, so I'll try and.
No, we got some time. We've done however long you want to run for. So
don't say that. I'll be talking forever. But what we might do, I've got a few quicker questions for you. And now these are really tough. These are the hard-hitting, really in-depth questions that you're probably quite scared of. So I hope they're not too intimidating. But here's a few for you. So first of all, red or blue Gatorade?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with red Gatorade.
Red Gatorade. Are you a Nike or an Adidas man, or Nike or Adidas?
Adidas, 100%.
Yeah, Miami's an Adidas.
Listen. I wear Adidas to play in, but I love Jordans. I have at least 9 or 10 pairs of Jordans that I do wear. So
Okay.
I'm a real kicks guy. So I think once I get paid, I'm gonna get me a couple of extra shoes for the closet. So
Yeah, that that was my next question. What's the first thing when you get your first check? What's the first thing you're spending it on?
I think there's a lot of cultural food where I'm from, so I think I'll get a meal from there. But it's definitely going to be a pair of shoes from somewhere.
Okay, awesome. Now, do you have any superstitions or pre-game routines that you go through?
Yeah, I have to put on both my left socks and my left shoe first before I do my right side.
Okay. Who's winning the NBA this year? I know you said you're a Dallas fan, but they're out. Who do you think will win it from here? Just reminding you, the Suns are out. As good as they looked, they're out.
Doesn't matter. They were butt throughout the year. So I think in the West, it's going to be one of the LA teams. That's for sure. I really hope it's the Lakers, just for LeBron. But for the East, I really think it's either going to be Miami or Boston that come out. I don't really see Giannis taking over, this series, especially after he kind of, I can't say the word, but he kind of likes, didn't want to guard Jimmy Butler towards the end. He was asked that question in the press conference, and he said, the coach told him to guard this and that, but if you're a real dog and you are the defensive player of the year, you would want to take on the assignment of having to guard a guy like Jimmy Butler. So
I like that. Hot take. All right. Yeah, I think I'm the same. I mean, you can't bet against LeBron. He's taken much, much worse teams to the finals, and now he's got AD. So yeah. I think they're a big chance as well. Now, we went through a few. You played with or against a lot of good players that went on to play in the NBA, but you actually played minutes against them. You weren't just sitting on the bench while they were on the other team. Who's the best player that you scored a bucket on?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't even remember, to be honest.
Because I'm thinking...
I really... Jason Tatum at the under 17 World Championships. I did hit a couple of threes in his face. So,
yeah.
I mean, he's real cool with me. Like, if I saw him in person, he'll, say hello and stuff. And, he gives me the respect I deserve just because of, how I played against him and stuff like that. So, I think, those are some tough buckets I hit on him and some of the other guys, too.
Yeah, so you don't keep a list of just all the guys that you've...
Nah, I'm not that type of dude.
Yeah, okay. Because I was going to say the other one I thought you might have said was Jamal Murray. Played against him for
nah, he's probably the toughest dude I've ever had to guard, though. Obviously, you've seen the playoffs. He's just going nuts, too. So
yeah, okay. The best arena, apart from your own, best arena or atmosphere you played in?
There's two. There's two. I think Duke. Oh, actually three. Duke's probably the loudest I've played in, just because it's so compact. He only holds like 5,000 or 6,000, but it's really loud in there. North Carolina definitely is one of them, just because the arena is like an NBA arena, holds about 18 to 20,000 people. But I also like Virginia Tech, just the Coliseum, just because all the crowds like dimming down onto you, so it's pretty cool.
Okay, well, I haven't seen that one. I'll have to check that one out. All right, last one from me. We got a few questions in the chat. I guess as a player, who's someone else you would compare your game to, or someone that you're trying to model your game on?
CJ McCollum in the NBA today, and obviously I don't know, a lot of guys have seen him, heard of him before, but Dejan Petrovic, he was a European, standout. Definitely would have been one of the best shooters in the world, but he died tragically in a car accident at a very, very young age. So those are the two people I try to model my game around.
Yeah, there's a good documentary with Dejan Petrovic and
Vlade. Once brothers. Yep, seen him multiple times.
Yeah, he was unreal. He would have been he would have been crazy if he sort of got to play his whole career. All right, I'm gonna just see if I can get this chat box up. We've got a few questions here. I don't know if you can see them, but I'll go through them. All right, the first one's someone wants to ask a question. So, Nicholas, let's get you up. I'll unmute you.
Yeah, so
I didn't steal any questions. I hope it wasn't red v blue Powerade.
I've got a few questions. I've got a few of my boys that I coach in this Zoom call. And I just want to get your, what was your routine when you were playing rep here before going off to college? Like, what was your workout routine by yourself and with your training? Because a lot of these boys, you know, a lot of them can play at a high level here. It's just they need that bit of push. So it'd be good to get your take on what you did when you were 15 years old.
Yeah, I think I worked out a lot in the morning myself. That means I get up, you know, maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock, because usually start school at 8:45, 9. So I'd be able to go for a run and do some ball handling. That's how I'd start my morning. And then obviously the days that I don't have training, I did skill sessions with, you know, people in Werribee or, you know, wherever I'm from Werribee. So I did stuff like that, and obviously shoot around my dad. I had a court out the front of the house and stuff like that. So for me, it was wake up, work out, go to school, you know, come back, eat, do some study if I had it homework wise, and then the rest was just spending outside and just working on my game. So that was all day, every day, really. There was really no days off, and I think that's what helped me, you know, moving forward.
Yeah, sweet. Also, favorite Jordan shoe.
The threes.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. All right, I've got a few here that I'll read out. So, from the college system you played in, so anywhere on the court or off the court, what's something that was really different over there that you think would be great to bring into Australian basketball at NBL or state league level, even just to the way they run things or something that happened?
I mean, there's a lot of, you know, talk of Basketball Australia trying to copy the US game style of trying to play quick and athletic. You know, I read a tweet from Chris Anstey the other day actually saying how people that have the speed and athleticism are actually getting drafted, but you know, I don't believe that, because there's a lot of people that are really more skilled and more mindset, you know, who last longer in the league even though they don't get drafted. So I really didn't like that quote for him, and obviously I'm not going to go out and go against him because, you know, he's playing the NBA and stuff like that, and he's had a long career. But I've actually experienced it myself. You know, you can see now Luka Doncic is 21 years old. He's averaging 30 plus points in a playoff game. You know, he's not the most athletic or anything like that, but he's got the brains and he's so skilled and stuff like that. So I think just the fundamentals, you know, I think we get taught here in Australia better than the US. But I wouldn't mind, you know, setting up a little, you know, college system here. Like, you know, there's a lot of dudes that go to university that have high level, and why not just pair, you know, school against school in like one big tournament and see how it goes? Because I think, you know, people would love to see it.
Definitely. What about, I guess, in the game presentation or in the crowds or things like that? What are some of those like traditions or things that go on that are just you only get in college?
I think it's pretty much both the same. I think it's just more hype in the game. You know, they have a whole video promo before they call your name out and stuff like that. They play music, and I mean, it's pretty much all the same besides the video promo, I guess.
Yeah. So Riley's asked, favorite NBA player? Either you can give us a current one and maybe an all-time one.
Yeah, Luka, LeBron, and CJ McCollum.
What is the most valued? This is from Henry. What is the most valued aspect of the game to college coaches? So what do they look for most in someone if they're recruiting them?
It's kind of different. It depends what type of, you know, what they need really for the next year, or what you can present yourself for the next however long you're there. And for me, it was they needed shooting and, you know, spacing on the floor, which I brought a lot of. I was able to get guys driving to the rim, and if they did get double team, I was there to make shots. So I think the biggest aspect is being able to shoot the ball and make shots at a high level.
Yeah, I think that's a really underrated thing at the moment. You know, they say now if you can't shoot, you can't play. If you're not a threat on offense, then it's hard to put you on the court in the game at the moment. So you're having a good shooting technique is massive. Now from James and Eliza, what advice would you give to a 15-year-old you? So going back to, I guess it's somewhere between when you're just being cut to starting to try and make state teams and things like that. What's something that you really probably wanted to hear back then?
Probably eat better, nutrition-wise, and being able to put stuff in my body that my body needs, not just junk food. And I think I kind of learned that throughout, you know, my college years. You know, I came in, I think I was 96, 97 kilos, and after my sophomore year, my second year, I got hurt, and then I cut it all the way down to 84 kegs. So, you know, just eating the right stuff and doing stuff like that.
take care of your body. That's good. We've been talking about stuff lately, strength and conditioning and nutrition, and really important. Couple more. So Riley's asked injuries. You said before you had an issue with your foot, but any other injuries that you've had so far? Touch wood.
I had a hyperextended elbow, bottom age 18s. Obviously a stress fracture in my left foot. I've had tendonitis issues and stuff like that, a few rolled ankles, but nothing as big as the stress fracture that I was out for 5 months for.
Yeah. Okay. And
a couple of broken fingers too, if that counts, but there's no point. You just put them back into place and you keep going. So
is that from going up on a dunk, just trying to throw it down?
Nah, it's just trying to catch the ball on a bad pass and it dislocates and breaks the other way. So
from Ethan, so what we've talked a little bit about this as well, but what hardships have you faced and overcome so far through your journey?
Just being away from my family, I guess. Obviously, I went to AS year 11. I've been living away from home ever since, pretty much. I only get to see my parents for a couple of weeks at a time. I'm in Australia, but I haven't seen my parents for a year and a half now. So since last May when my girlfriend and I came to visit. So
awesome. All right. Well, we might wrap it up, and if we've got any more questions, quickly chuck them in. But if not, we'll let you go. You've probably got Call of Duty game on, Warzone time.
Yeah, my phone's been buzzing. My mates are asking where I am. So
you got the point, man. All right, we'll let you go. So yeah, look, thanks so much for joining. It's been really good to talk to you. Some really good info and quite enjoyable. So thank you. We'll put some of the clothing, apparel stuff up. Let us know as soon as it's ready for pre-order. We'll make sure we grab some of that. And
no problem at all.
Seeing you on the court, hopefully in December.
Yeah, hopefully whenever the season starts. So yeah, if anyone has anything, you can reach out to me. So it'll be good.
Yeah, and we've got, I think you can maybe chuck it in here, but guys can follow on Instagram and see what you're up to.
Yeah, I'll chuck it in now just because I know a lot of people after the
10 days in lockdown.
Yeah, you guys can message me, give me a call, whatever the hell you want to do, because I'm not going anywhere.
All right, we've got, if people haven't seen already, I think on our Instagram story today, we had a little competition that you're running for some apparel as well. So jump on and other than that, you can send, I think it's just a ball handling drill you've got. And
yeah, just something light to keep you guys engaged and some free stuff to win.
Yeah, awesome. All right, thanks, DJ. We'll talk to you later.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Thank you.